Hello and welcome to Japanese from Zero, Ask a Teacher. This is where instead of me choosing the topic like we do on the dailies, you choose the topic and you ask me questions about Japanese. You have to forgive me, I do have a slight sore throat as I'm on week 922 of this cold. Wow. But here we go. This is number 104, and immediately following this, those of you that are in the chat room, this is a doubleheader. We'll be doing number 105, which, as you know, does go on YouTube. Here we go. First question is from Sephiroth. And by the way, he had the first question last time, too. Hi, George. Could you explain the use of te? I said it, right? Tsu, a little tsu and then a te. The te particle, I've seen it used after names, adjectives, and adverbs. And verbs. And I'm not quite sure how it works. This is what he's talking about. The red portion here is a little tsu and a te. And this is what you'll see. Jojite. So it might be someone is talking about somebody in a conversation and you don't know who that guy is. Maybe the guy's name is Tanaka and he goes, "Kono aida sa, Tanaka-san ga kitan yo." The other day Tanaka came and you're like, Tanaka te. You're really saying, Tanaka te dare desu ka? That Tanaka thing that you just said. Tanaka te. Now, what is te? What is that? It's really just like to. When we're talking about quotations and encapsulating a phrase into something. For example, ii to omoimasu. It's almost like that. Ii to omoimasu means I think it's good. It's a little bit different, but that's kind of the exact same thing that it's doing. So if you hear a name that you don't know, you can just come back with, like, let's say, Kino sa, Masumi-san ga kite. Masumi, was it Masumi? I don't remember who I just said. Let's say it was Masumi. Masumi te, and you can just kind of pause like that. Masumi te, Masumi te? You do all sorts of ways. And they will know to say, Masumi ga watashi no tomodachi. Masumi is my friend. All right? Then there's this one after a verb. Ikutte. Ikutte. So let's say, hey, I just talked to George. Oh, did he say he was going? Ikutte. There's a big party that you guys got planned, and all of your best friends are invited, but you haven't talked to George or Tanaka or one, and then all of a sudden, you know that Jeff just came back from talking to them, and I can just look over at Jeff and say, Ikutte? Ikutte? Did they say they're going? Literally, it's like saying, like I said, ikuto iimashita ka? Did they say they're going? It's very short. It's ikutte. The e in front is really common too. Ikutte. What? Oh, did they say they're going? Ikutte. All right. How about this? So we've covered verbs. We've covered names. You said it happens after adjectives. Yeah, same exact thing. I want to say one more thing before I do this. So this was a question, right? But what if I just wanted to say, yeah, they said they're going to go. Ikutte. Yeah, they said they're going. Ikutte. Ikutte. You might hear like versions of it, like ikundatte. You might hear that. Ikundatte. He said they're going. They said they're going. Right? That's just really literally the same thing, just a different way to say it. And same thing here. Atsuite. He said it's hot. Atsuite? What? They said it's hot? Atsuite. Yeah, they said it's hot. That's how te is used. Here's another way. Another thing you can do. You can say, this is the quickest way to get information from a Japanese person, right? That te form, right? So you hear a word you don't know. You hear an animal you never heard of, like buta. You can say, buta te, or the longer form, buta te nani? Or buta te nan desu ka? And this is really, really good. Instead of saying buta wa nan desu ka, you're saying buta te nan desu ka? And that is like, that thing you just said that I heard that was buta, what is it? All right, good question. That's like really, really good question. Not as good as one coming up in the next show. There's a really good question coming up. I'm looking forward to it. Thank you, though. I'm not trying to demean your question, because it was pretty good. All right, next question is from Komiyavi. She says, what are some really good Japanese kid shows I can watch. Great question. I'm going to tell you the ones that I know. I'm sure there are more. And I know them because my kids watched them very long ago. They're like 10 and 14 now. This is a really, really good one. Okasan to Isho. Together with Mother. Okasan to Isho. I'm not sure how they would actually translate that. It might be together with mommy or with mother or with mommy. You never know. But in Japanese it is Okasan to Isho. There's singing. There's stuffed animal characters. There's bits. There's song. Everything. It's really, really great. And by bit I mean like it's just like Sesame Street. It's literally the Japanese version of Sesame Street, where they'll go through a word and they'll do things with that word. They've got characters and animation, and it's really, really good. If you're looking for a good animation for kids, Anpanman is very clean Japanese. Literally sweet bread man. His head is made out of sweet bread, and when he gets weak fighting the enemy, the Jama Oji-san, which is the old man who bakes his head, will bake him a new head, and he'll throw it to him, and he'll put it on, and all of a sudden he can destroy his mortal enemy, Baikin-man, which is Bacteria Man. And Bacteria Man has a girlfriend named Tokin-chan, which is like Poison Girl. So there's a lot of really, really cool characters, okay? And a lot of the characters are really made out of food, right? Because that's what kids are into. There's Onigiri Man, right? So watch Anpanman. You'll really like it. Another one that I really like, and I didn't write down, Doraemon. Doraemon. Doraemon is this blue robot from the future. He's a cat robot from the future, right? Nekogata roboto. But he has no ears because they were eaten off, okay? And he's not gold like he was when he was first made because the gold is worn off. But he lives in the past with a boy named Nobita. And Nobita is like the dorky boy that is getting beat up by the bad boy, Giant is his name. And he likes the girl Shizuka. And then there's the rich kid Tsuneo. And there's always some sort of adventure that they're doing. And it's really good because what makes it good is this. And this is why I love it. Doraemon has a magic pocket. And he can stick his hand in the magic pocket and pull things from the future. So if Nobita has a problem, typically there will be a tool that Doraemon will pull out of his pocket for Nobita. But as the moral of every story goes, right, like the tool that helps you end up in the end, it hurts you, and it's kind of funny. You'll like it. Also, he has a really awesome thing that every Japanese person knows. There's two things from that show that every Japanese person knows. Doko demo doa, the anywhere door. You could say that, right? Let's say you're talking to your friend, right? And you say, oh, I want to go to Japan, right? Say that, like, Nihon ni ikitai na. And then you could just say, Doko demo doa ga hoshii na. Ooh, I really want a doko demo doa, an anywhere door. They will know what you mean, and they'll be like, wow, how do you know that? Right? And then there's also another thing, an invention from the show, takekopta, which is a bamboo helicopter hat. That's how they fly around. But the doko demo door is the best invention because you can go anywhere. It's like from the Stargate. You know, Stargate, you could go through the little gate and you end up in different universes. Same thing. All right. And one more. Pitagora Switch. Pitagora Switch. I'm not sure what the direct translation of this is, but Pythagoras is the Pythagorean, and I believe they're kind of combining them together. Pythagorean Switch. It's another kids show that you might enjoy. It's a little bit more mental, a little bit more. Yeah, try it. You'll like it. Thanks for the question. All right. Next question, as I take a thing of water. Tony Hutt says, what's the deal with chikaku when spoken? I had a native speaker tell me to pronounce it shikaku. What? Wow. Okay, look. Let's talk about this for a second. Native speakers, as you know, can sometimes not know things, or their reality is their reality. Maybe where they're from, they say shikaku, or a closer version of shikaku to that, like shikaku. I could imagine that, but I'm going to tell you, if you say shikaku, shikaku does not mean chikaku, which means nearby. Shikaku means vision, right? Shikaku, it means a punishment. So it does not mean chikaku. They are distinctly different characters, a chi and a shi. So I'm going to end that question real quick. Say chikaku. And all due respect to your friend, All right. Next question is from Aichan95. Joji Dono, have you ever wished to teach in Japan as a teacher? Or have you already done it? Good question. Yes, I have done it. I have done it. I have done it. Sounds good. I was an English teacher very briefly, a private English teacher. I was never in Japan on a visa to teach. But I did have a private class that I taught that was done at like the place where I rented my apartment. And it was the most horrible English class ever because I did not know how to teach English. And I'm pretty sure we just ended up watching The Simpsons every day. Or talked about, literally we never got past hello, my name is. I never was able to get past that. I didn't know how to teach it. But here's a funny thing. They always told me I should teach Japanese. And you know what I said at the time when I was like 18 or 19? I said, no, never. I'm never going to teach Japanese to Americans because they can't appreciate it. You guys are young. Some of you guys are young. I'm going to say this right now. Don't ever say never. Never say never. Because so many things I said in the past, well, you can say it, but you're going to regret it because look at me. My entire life is teaching Japanese. Who'd have thunk it? All right. Next question is from... I believe this is the last one or the second to the last one. Jessman, 1999. He says, I'm trying to figure out the reason why the imperative form of kuru is koi. Kuru means to come. Koi means come. And I hate the word imperative. I really do. I wish we didn't have to use that word. But really, it's the forceful. I would call it the forceful way to say come. Koi, come. There's like literally no other there's not what I'm looking for here. There's not a more forceful way to say come. Koi. A close second would be kinasai. All right. Here's this question though. I asked the Japanese teachers at my various junior high schools with just horrified looks on their faces as they could only tell me that it is because it is irregular. I know it's irregular, but suru is also irregular, and its conjugation is shiro. 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 Do it. All right. So there are 3 irregular verbs. What, 3? Whoa, wait. I heard there was 2. Yeah, I know. Look, every teacher has their opinion, and the word irregular means, to me, they don't follow the regular verb pattern. They just don't. They don't follow iru-eru verb pattern, and they don't follow regular verb pattern. That makes them irregular, and that's why there's 3. The traditional 2 that you're going to hear about are suru and kuru, but aru is sort of irregular because it doesn't follow the pattern. It doesn't do what it's supposed to do when you conjugate. So, what do you have to do with those? You have to memorize their conjugations. Your problem, Jessman, is you want a pattern, right? And you're thinking, well, if suru goes to shiro, then why wouldn't kuru go to kuro? Because it's irregular. That's the answer. It is irregular. Your teachers, although I don't like saying this, they're correct. The answer is because it's irregular. You just have to memorize it. Sometimes they match a pattern. Like, for example, kuru goes to kinasai, the other way to be really like come, kinasai, and suru goes to shinasai, which sounds like, oh, maybe there's a pattern. But there isn't. They don't follow it. They're unique. So just memorize it, all right? And just for those people that need to know, the reason why I think aru is irregular is because if it was a regular verb, or it would go aranai to be there isn't any. It would be aranai, but it doesn't. It goes to nai. Okay? All right. Final question, I think. Nars place or Nars place. It could go either way. Are you going to start China from zero soon? It's Chinese from zero, by the way. Yes. Matter of fact, so soon that it's already started. We already have an author for it. His name is Valentine Luck. He is fluent in Chinese, Mandarin, like amazingly fluent. He's married to a Chinese woman. And the co-author of that book currently, I'm pretty sure she will be the author, is my good Chinese friend, Demi. I just say that because things can change, but so it'll basically be Demi. I don't remember her Chinese name. That's her American name. And Val, making Chinese from zero. He is working on it right now. Once he gets to a certain point, then Demi will kick in and start adding examples. Literally the same pattern that I did with Japanese from zero is taking place with Chinese from zero. And for that matter, the same thing is happening with Korean from zero. It's a little bit later in the process, or a little bit earlier in the process. I just found who I believe will be the author, and I have someone in mind for the co-author that's the Korean part of that. And the second part of your question, if you can do this as an Ask a Teacher, then my question is, for learning Japanese, what is your thoughts on native versus non-native Japanese teachers? Let me get a drink before I answer that. I firmly believe, and I'm of course very biased, that a person like myself who has learned Japanese from zero is going to be a better teacher than your everyday run-of-the-mill native speaker or on the street. The native speaker comes in just knowing how it works. They just know this is how you say it. They have no struggle. They didn't struggle for years to look up grammar. A guy like me knows intricate things about Japanese grammar that a Japanese person might not have ever thought about. And a non-native speaker has been through the exact same struggle that you are going through now, so they know your mindset and they know what you need. There's a reason why the main author of Chinese from Zero is American and learned Chinese. There's a reason why the main author of Korean from Zero is going to be an American who learned Korean. They know their stuff really, really well. Koreans, I do know a couple Koreans that really know their stuff. I do know Japanese people that know their stuff, but they're far and in between rare. All right. Thank you for the question, though. That's it. If you'd like to be involved with yesjapan.com, follow us on Twitter or join the website and you can get a free account and you'll be signed up for our newsletter automatically, which you can opt out later, and we will send you a notification on most nights, at least a couple hours before the stream starts, and you can come in and get your question answered. Those of you that are in the chat room, hang on, I'll take a quick break, and then we'll come right back and do number 105. I'll see you then. Bye-bye. Okay, well, look, the reality of this shirt today is that because I'm going to Korea and I need to bring my cool jackets, they're in the cleaners right now, and I didn't go pick them up. They're dumb, but I didn't pick them up. So I'm wearing the Halloween costume that I got to be Oppa Gundam style.